Greetings and salutations, everyone. I'm your host, of course, Keir Scott. And with me today, I have another great guest joining us, uh, 2AM, a songwriter and an artist as well. New single Coolin' is out now. Make sure you go stream that on every single platform available. They'll be joining in here shortly, and we'll be having our discussion on our podcast. Again, this is no scripts. Let me know if you like it, if you love it, what I can change up. Upcoming guests you guys would like to see. Leave some comments, leave some likes, and it's going to be a great interview. I thank you guys for coming through. Thank you guys for coming out, and see you soon. All right. 2AM, how's it going?
It's going good, man. How you doing?
I am doing well. The first thing I always I like to ask my guests before we get started is how's everything going with you through COVID right now? How has that process been going for you? I know it's affecting everybody differently.
It's going well. I'm not gonna say that it's going like completely good because, I'm still in school. It's affected me going to school. Other than that, I'm a homebody. So like I don't really get out much, I keep my circle small. So, it's really not, it's terrible though. I lost my great aunt to it, so,
My condolences for sure, definitely.
Thank you. How's it going for you?
So far it has been a blessing, but at the same time it's been traumatic experience. I've lost relatives as well from it. But then again, my job has been great. I mean, me and the wife are getting ready to, buy a new home. We're in a really good space because of what we do. Outside of this and stuff like that. So it's been a blessing there. But like I said, losing family members, it's definitely rough. Like I'm a homebody as well. I'm the same way.
For
like,
sure.
I'd rather be in the house than go outside. I don't know what it is. Especially as I get older. In my younger days, I wouldn't mind going out, being at a party around a lot of people, but now that I'm older, I'd much rather be in the house.
Right. It's pretty good. Seems like it's going well, like I said, it's terrible. A lot of people are dying and, but like I said, I don't get out much. I'm trying to protect my mom and stuff like that. So, I'm not, I just stay. I stick to my circle, stick to myself. So
definitely, and that's the best way to be, especially right now, as you get ready to drop the music and everything, for sure. Try to stay focused,
yes sir,
and keep the creative juices flowing, for sure. So the name 2AM, first of all, I like that name. That's fire, and I like how it's put together. How did you come up with that? How did 2AM come about?
Well, first it was my name. I had a lot of different names before I came up with 2AM. First, I'm gonna tell you my first name was official Misty. Like a lot of people make fun. A lot of people be like, "Where'd you come up with that?" And it's like Miss T. Like Miss.
I got it.
My name is Tierra, by the way. Like Tierra, I go by 2AM. But it was official Misty. Then it was Tierra with like a space between it. Like I was all over the place.
Yeah.
So basically, where I got 2AM from is I stay up. Sometimes I stay up late, but I'm in my creative zone around that time. Like, I could be up late at night doing homework. It doesn't matter. But when it comes to music, I'm more creative at night. I feel like, and it's around that time, 2AM. So, I love the nighttime, and it's 2AM.
I like it. That makes sense. I'm feeling that too. And again, I like the way put it together. I mean, there's so many different ways that you could do 2AM, but the fact that how you piece that together, I think that's I like that.
Thank you. Right. Thank you. I know there's a lot of different people, a lot of artists who are like, their name is 2AM too.
Oh, really?
But like I've actually looked up a couple of people, but when it comes to creating a name, you have to patent it. Like, you have to, so I'm looking to do that. And it's the way that my name is spelled as well. I don't just spell it with a 2 and an AM. I spell it out like, how you pronounce it. So it's different that way. No one else has done that. So I'm clear with that.
That's right. Yeah. Make sure you capitalize off of that for sure. Like you don't want nobody going to take that. Like I said, that's very unique.
For sure. Thank you. Thank you.
So I saw a little bit of your bio. It says you are from Columbus, Ohio. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Uh, Columbus different. Like, I don't, because you don't really get. I mean, there's a lot of artists from out there, but I feel like they're not like they don't get the recognition that they probably should. Like there's tons of artists from Ohio. How is the music scene out in Ohio?
It's not really big.
No.
It's big, but
Hmm.
it's not really that big. There's a lot of creative people here,
For
like
sure.
fashion, music, art, all that type of stuff. But as
Hmm.
far as like music, you don't, like you say, like you don't really hear people coming out of like Columbus, Ohio. Like I know,
Hmm.
I think Bow Wow is from Columbus or something like that.
Okay. Okay.
But like as far as like now, you don't really hear about it as much.
Hmm.
So I mean, I know a lot of different artists here. I work with a couple of different artists here, but
Hmm.
it's not as big as like LA or New York
Yeah.
or Florida or any of those, where people come out of, like
For
people
sure.
move to come out of, like,
Hmm.
to get signed, to get noticed and stuff like that. People move. So, but Columbus is home for real for me.
That's dope for sure. Do you find it harder to be able to reach an audience because you're in Columbus, or you feel like that the internet has kind of made it so that you can reach the masses just as much as being like with a record label or being out in the open in a bigger city?
Yeah, I think that the internet has definitely helped me a lot.
Mhm.
Like I have followers, supporters from Columbus, yeah, but it's everywhere. Even overseas, like I have fans, like people who
Yeah,
support me. It's kind of like, wow, like you
for
from
sure.
London listening to my music, like so in Columbus, yeah, I have a nice support system, I can say.
That's awesome for sure, definitely. So let's get into a little bit of the music. How old were you when you started writing music? How old would you say you
Um,
were?
I was about 14, 14. My
Okay.
best friends, one of my, well, we're I can say, you know how you get friends in high school and you graduate, it just kind of like falls off a little bit.
Yeah.
Her uncle had started recording me while
Mm.
I was in high school. I was 14 and stuff. I started writing, and I'm like, I can go back to these tracks, like they're all in my email, and I'm just like, wow, like I came a long way. So I can say around like 14, I started writing and producing and just doing a whole bunch of things. But I started recording in my best friend's uncle's basement with him. He's
Okay.
a engineer and producer as well. He's really good.
Okay. Do you still use them? Is you still your engineer now?
No, I have a different engineer. But me and him, he actually the last time I saw him was at my friend's birthday party, and he was like,
Mhm.
"Yo, 2 a.m., 2 a.m." I was like, he was like, "Yo, like, I call." I'm like, "You ain't call me, man."
Yeah, that
He's
is
awesome though, because he introduced me to a lot, and I appreciate him as well.
for
So,
sure. Yeah, shout them
but
out for
but
sure.
no,
Shout out to them. That's awesome.
yes, sir. BA
So
Dub.
that's dope. Shout out to them for sure. So you remember the first song that you wrote, the lyrics and everything to the first song you wrote?
Man, I have no, like, I remember it. It's a blur. Like like I could go back and listen to it, but I
Hmm.
did like freestyles and stuff. Chirac by Nicki Minaj.
Mm, yep.
Yes, I did that
Okay.
freestyle. I did Tupac Get Money freestyle. It's just,
Mm.
and my mom still plays it for me. I'm like, turn it off, man. Like I'm
Yeah,
so
right. You
different.
like
I'm so different. That's when I was official Misty. I'm just like,
okay. You like that isn't even 2 a.m. records right there. That's some old stuff. Don't bring that up no more. That's done.
yeah, man. It's wild. I was young and I actually don't sound anything like how I sound now. It's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, I sound very young. Sort of like a Nicki Minaj type thing.
Yeah.
It's like so yeah. It's
That's dope. One of those days, I'm sure mom's gonna leak some of those records though. She's gonna leak them out. When you know what I
oh
mean?
man,
She gonna
that
let
would be
those
the
loose. So
day. That's gonna be the day, man. That's gonna be the day for
that's too
sure.
funny. So being that you write songs but you also record your own music, what process do you like more personally? Do you like the writing process, or do you like the recording process
Oh
more?
yeah, I definitely like the writing process better, and I tell a lot of people that, um, it's just I like being behind the scenes. Everybody's trying to be a rapper, everybody's trying to be a singer, everybody's
Hmm.
trying to do this and that. I would
Yep.
rather write for people. That's
Mm.
me. Like even when I drop this album, I tell my mom and people close to me, I'm like, oh, I want it to do really good, because I've already been noticed by a couple of people, like not even a couple of people, a handful of people, and I'm just
Hmm.
like, I'm not gonna say like, I don't want them to like sign me or take me places and stuff like that, but I would rather be a writer. I would rather be a songwriter. That's what I love to do. So the writing process for me, like I love the writing process compared to the recording process. When it comes to the recording process,
Hmm.
I love it. It's a great experience. I record myself. My engineer, I send stems to my engineer. I used to record in the studio with him, but now that I got my own equipment, I
Mm.
record myself. Um, it's totally different. I would be in the studio with him. Um, he would train me a little bit. He'd be like, "That don't sound right. Do it again."
Yeah.
Like we just
Yep.
have that connection. But with me, man, I'm telling you right now, I can record a verse and one little thing doesn't sound right, and I
Hmm.
re-record it
Mm.
again. Like it has to sound right. With him, you know, he will say something that sounds right. He'd be like,
Hmm.
"Yo, that sounds right," but I don't think it sounds right. So I'm low key a perfectionist with that. Like I get that a lot. Like you're a perfectionist, but both of them, I love recording and writing at the same time. But like I said, I love writing the most.
For sure, definitely. I feel like in the craft that you have to have as far as music, you kind of have to be a perfectionist, because if you're not, I feel like the critics and the fans, they will be. You know what I
Oh
mean? Like
yeah,
sometimes they'll go extra hard and they'll tell you like some crazy stuff. Not in person, of course, because that's how they sometimes they're weird like that. They try to do stuff even to get attention or
oh
just to
yeah,
be however they. I mean, just to be evil and mean. So you got to make sure if it's something that you love, it's your baby. You gotta, you gotta hold on dear to that for sure.
oh yeah, 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 for sure.
I did see, I saw on IG, I think you had posted it on your story. You said like this is, I'm paraphrasing because by the time I got to, I had a long day. I said busy day, but I did see you posted on there, and it was like a paraphrase. But you said like, this is my one album doing. After this, I'm not doing any more albums. I'd rather
Yeah,
just write. Correct? Is that
yeah,
something that you're thinking about?
yeah,
You think about this
yeah.
is the
That
one
is
album?
something. Yeah, that is something that I'm like seriously thinking about because, like
Mm-hmm.
I said, I would rather stick to writing. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of people were like sliding up, like, no, 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 no. Like, why are you doing this? Why no? Like, like I said, writing is just it's my gift. I was blessed with writing, and I would just rather write for people. Not like some people call it ghost writing, but
Yeah,
when it comes to singers and stuff like that, I call it songwriting because we writing songs, and um ghostwriting, they use that for rappers and stuff.
mm-hmm.
I know
Yeah,
rappers like the whole thing with Drake and Meek Mill and stuff like that, and Bad Baby and stuff like Cardi B, Nicki
mm-hmm.
Minaj, like they all have their stories, but what people don't notice is that songwriters get paid. They get paid like
For sure.
artists. Y'all have to rely on touring and shows and
Exactly.
streams. We get placements, you
Yeah.
know. That's where the money comes in. Producing is the same way. So,
Mm.
um, I feel like if it does good, I may reconsider, but I feel like it will be my first and last album,
Okay.
So it's
Well,
gonna be great though. I'm telling you this right now.
listen, I'm anticipating. I can't wait to hear it myself for sure. Do you have a date for it yet? You got a date when it's coming out?
I do not have I don't have a date, but I
Okay.
have a certain deadline where I want it to be done.
Okay.
Um End of December. I want to
End
be
of
done
December.
with the like where stems are, right? With
Yep.
the like sending stems to my engineer
Hmm.
because I don't the whole thing with COVID and stuff like that. I really don't want to be in a studio, because I'm low-key a germaphobe. So like I don't want to be in the studio, and we haven't had that talk yet, but
Yeah.
he's been on me like, bro, just come to the studio. Just come to the studio.
And you
Like,
like, nah, I'm not really feeling it
yeah,
right now. It's not
you
really, it's
know,
not really it for me.
like, man, I love my engineer. Like, he's helped me with my sound so much. But shout out to him as well.
For sure. Definitely shout
But
out to him. They're important.
yeah. So the deadline is the end of December to get those stems over to him, and had like literally more than half of the album is recorded. It is recorded. I have all the melodies. I use, like, how my creative process works is I could be like sleep and I wake up and I grab my phone, and you know how you have voice memos on your phone.
Mm-hmm.
I can be thinking of the song and I just like record, like hum the melody in my on the voice memo, and I write lyrics, and boom. So all of the melodies, all the lyrics is set. I just have to record. And once again, I am a college student, so I'm focusing, on getting my classes done, the exams, and then it'll be done.
For sure. Yeah, priority first. For sure. I totally understand. And I'm assuming when you listening back and you go into those vocals and you putting the melodies in, that's around 2 a.m. Right?
Yeah, yes, sir.
When the creative juices get flowing. Totally
Yes,
understood.
sir. Yes, sir.
So have you tried your hand in producing at all?
Oh yeah. I have experimented with so many genres between Afrobeat, EDM, hip hop. Trap is like the easiest, like, and that's what I told one of my friends who's also a producer. I'm like, trap is so easy, like, it's a loop and a drum pattern. That's all it is. EDM is more like structure, with samples and loops and stuff like that, drum patterns, all that type of stuff. So I'm into that. Latin music, especially R&B.
Oh, wow.
I've experienced with pop, every genre, because like that's why I tell people, like, I'm a songwriter, so I have to be versatile. I can't just stick to one genre, whether it's producing or songwriting. So that's what I've experienced when it comes to producing. It's all of those genres.
That was going to be one of my next questions. Like, do you prefer to be labeled as a songwriter, an artist? What if somebody was to label you, or you were to be labeled in some kind of construct, what would you prefer to be?
I would, when I say artist, sometimes I refer to it being everything, songwriter, producer, rapper, whether you're a singer, you're an artist, because it's art that you're, putting out. You're putting out art. So if I had to say so, I'm an artist. But if you had to label me, other than an artist, songwriter, instead of being like a rapper, or she's a singer, I'm a songwriter. So, but I am an artist. We're all artists. So that's how I look.
Definitely. Are there some of the more mainstream or even some of the more local songwriters that you look up to, that you like, I want to get to that level? You know what I mean? That you kind of have like a milestone for?
Honestly, you're probably going to be like, what? Because he is worth like 1.4 billion in songwriting royalties. Elton John. I look up to him when it comes to songwriting.
I'm not mad.
Nyjah. If you ever heard of Nyjah, she is like on the rise. She's when it comes to female songwriters, Nyjah, she is great. Like she's done Beyonce records, Ariana Grande records, WizKid records. Like she's literally getting placements. Like she had like 7 Grammys or something this year. She's crazy good, and I look up to her. I'm all around when it comes to producing, writing, entertaining. Michael Jackson is like, he is
the epitome.
Yes. That's where like, I look up to him when it comes to everything, songwriting especially. It's a range. It just depends, but Elton John, Michael Jackson, and Nyjah are my top 3. So yes.
That sound like a pretty dope top 3 to have. I'm not mad at you on that one.
With me, I listen to a lot of old school music. Like I listen to more old school music than new school music, and I get most of my ideas from people who have set records straight in the recording industry. And even with Elton John and Michael Jackson, of course, they did. Come on. Like Nyjah and stuff, she's modern day, you know. So
I gotta check her out. I'm not 100% familiar with her, but I will definitely I will check her out after this. I will
look at her credits, man. I'm telling you right now, her credits are amazing.
It sounds I'm impressed. Like you said, Beyonce, Ariana Grande, you said those are some big names of people who had, like you said, Grammy nominations, big songs, sold millions of records. So for sure. Definitely.
Yes, sir.
So you said you like to listen to older music rather than newer music. Is that like old school hip hop? Is that old school R&B? Is it all of the above? What would you say that you like?
I'll go all the way back to the 60s. James Brown, 50s, 60s, James Brown. Of course, the Jackson 5, the Isley Brothers, Earth, Wind and Fire, you know, the you know, Cool in the Gang. When it comes to the, you know, the 80s, you got I'll Be Sure, you got New Edition, you know, and then when it comes to hip hop and stuff like that, I look up to Biggie. Biggie is number one.
Really?
Method Man, Redman, you know, just
I
listen to everything, man. Like even with classical, when I'm doing my homework, I try to listen to classical music. I listen to jazz. I listen to rock. The only genre that I don't listen to is country, you know. So
okay. So I'm not mad at that.
It inspires me. Other people's music inspires me. So that's why I listen to so much of it.
I mean, and I feel like the more music that you listen to that inspires you, that's great, especially if it's something that they've done that set milestones. I mean, it's only going to set you up for success as well. So,
you
know,
I think that's the best way. Best way, you know. A lot of people look up to the newer artists and stuff like that. You know, I can relate to it a little bit, but you know,
I mean, newer in the sense of like, let's just say, like I like Kendrick Lamar a lot. I don't think that's a bad.
Yes, sir.
I mean, he is newer, right? But I'm not mad if you are influenced by what he's done in the amount of time that he's dropped. What, 4 albums if you include Section 80. He's done a lot of milestones already. So
yes, sir.
It's not somebody that's newer that's bad to look up to. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir. He's one of the top 3 that inspires. You know, just my music in whole. You know, as you can probably hear, like I always get compared, like, hey, you sound like a female Kendrick. Like I'm just like, you know, or a female Isaiah Rashad. Have you heard of Isaiah Rashad?
Oh, Isaiah was one of my favorites, man. I got a story about that. I'm kind of upset with him, but it's all right. We'll talk about that later. Not personally, man. He was they did the championship tour out in Pennsylvania. They came out to Hershey. I went to the show. Isaiah Rashad was supposed to be, I believe, one of the people on the card, and he didn't come out there. I was so mad, man. Yeah, man. I wanted to see Zay, man. That was one of the people I was looking forward. Everybody else came out, but Zay wasn't there, man. I was like, man, I wanted to listen to Isaiah Rashad. He was my favorite.
Oh yeah, my favorite song is Webby Flow. I love that song, man. I love all of his projects, but you know, I always like people who just slide up on about my music or my stories and stuff. They be like, bro, it seemed like you would belong to TDE or Dreamville or any of those record labels. I'm just like, you know, I like it's cool. Compare me. Okay. Yep. We all get compared, you know, it's a part of life. I feel like, you know, but I have my own sound. I want to have my own sound. I want people to recognize like, hey, that's Twoaym. She's different, you know? So even when it comes to female rap or any category, when it comes to, since this is a rap album that I'm doing, you know, I want people to listen and be like, yo, that's 2 a.m. That's that joint. I don't want people to be like, bro, she sound like this. She sound like that. So, you know, I love Kendrick. I love TDE. You know, Sir followed me not that long ago. I freaking freaked out. I was like, whoa. My mom was like, calm down. She didn't know who he was. I was like, Mom, you must like, I have a lot of, you know, stories when it comes to people just noticing me, you know. So Jackie Jackson, me and him, he back in 2018, I had done this song, you know how I told you I produce, you know, I've experienced with Afrobeat and that just dance hall in general. It was this dance hall joint, and I had sent it to his wife
Okay.
because they're running like it's a label. You can call them a label. Yeah.
Okay.
Uh, running a label is called Critically Amused. I sent it to her, and it was crazy because that day I sent it to her. That night I was asleep, so I woke up to, hey, Jackie likes this. Jackie likes this. You know, like I still have the emails. I wish I could pull them up for you some way, but I still have the emails. You know, with me being such a huge fan of Michael, you know, it was just like,
Yeah.
this can't be happening. So what happened was she texted me. She was like, let's chat. Da, 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 da. So when she called me, she was like, you know, did you produce this track? Did you write this track? Or these your lyrics? Do you have a BMI? Do you have, you know, all of that type of stuff? We went through that and gave her those answers. And she was like, oh, and Jackie wants to, you know, say something. You know, he wants to talk to you. Man, it was crazy. So just like,
legendary.
yeah, so I like had to chill out before, you know, I talked to him. He was like, is this Tierra? Da, 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 da. You know, the soft voices and stuff like that. Yep. So he was just like, I love your music. I love what you sent. You know, keep sending me more music and stuff like that. And we talked for like a couple of minutes, and then his wife got back on, and she was like, we're going to see if we can get this place, because they had an artist, they had a dance hall artist, and two artists. They go by Gold Lemonade, but it wasn't a track that was meant for them. It was meant for his dance hall artist. So it didn't go through. At the end of the day, it didn't go through. You know, his dad had passed away around that time, so it was bad timing. Mm-hmm. So, but he follows me. His wife follows me. It's just, you know, so my mom and my friends and stuff, they're like, you know, you're being watched by people, you know,
legendary people, not just regular people too.
Yeah, Bam, super producer Bam. He contacted me not that long ago. He produced No Limit for Usher. He wants to work with me. You know, I just got under new management. I just got my first manager. You know, I haven't like said anything too much about it and stuff, because, you know, we still have to go through the contracts and stuff like that. So it's going pretty well for me, you know, as you can.
That's awesome.
And I'm very humble about it. So
for sure. Yeah, listen, from the conversations that we've had and just speaking to you now, I can see it. You know what I mean? They're very humble, but I mean, it's something to acknowledge and be appreciated of. And I mean, you can boast a little bit. You're doing your thing out here, man. That's what's up. That's awesome. That's incredible. I mean, just keep working hard, and great things will continue to come. I mean, I feel like great people follow other great people. You know, it's just what it is. Like when they hear something that sounds good, you can't help but embrace it.
Right.
Only the haters are going to continue to hate on something that's great. So.
Right. I know earlier, not that long ago, a couple hours ago, I was and you know what Twitch is, Twitch TV, video games and stuff like that. I was in a forum. It's with Shay Pope. You know who Shay Pope is?
No, I'm not familiar with Shay Pope.
He's a COO of Good Music, Kanye's label.
Okay.
He's produced for The Weeknd, Christina Aguilera. He has Grammy nominated, like, you know. And he followed me not that long ago, and I had the song that I sent you. I don't know if you listened to it. It's labeled "Run It Up" demo.
Okay.
It's a song.
I'll check that one out. Yep.
One of the songs that's gonna be on the album. It's unfinished. Sent it to him. He listened to it and he was like, "Finish this." He was like, "Finish it." People were going crazy in the comments, like, "Yo, this is crazy!" Like 2 a.m. You know. So I'm just extremely humble and grateful for, you know, just all of the opportunities. You know, major people. You know, listening to my music and new people getting hip to my music and stuff like that. So.
Man, that is absolutely incredible. I'm gonna keep looking forward to your journey. Of course, I follow you. I'm gonna continue to follow you. And listen, Don't forget about the little people when you get big. You know what I mean?
Man, that's what I'm saying. That's what that's what I was just telling one of my friends the other day. I'm just like, I give everybody an opportunity, because I'm getting opportunities, like I believe in, you know, everybody, like everybody has to start somewhere. And
Definitely.
I when somebody wants to do an interview or talk to me on the phone, or even when it comes to like, because I'm really big with mental health and stuff, so
Hmm.
I love to help people. It can be a complete stranger. If you ever want to talk to somebody, if you're feeling down, call me, text me about it. Let's talk. So I'm that type of person. I love helping people, and yeah.
That's beautiful though, man. And that's like kind of like born in you. You know what I mean? You're kind of born with that. It's like depending on how you raise, the people you're raised around, and just your energy. That's just something that's natural. So that's beautiful. That's awesome. So going into the next level, it was kind of similar to this. Like, what would you tell the average person that's looking to get into the music industry, right? Either songwriting or becoming an artist. What kind of advice would you give them? Some things that you've learned so far.
um I would give them, like, like I would say that nothing happens overnight. It's a process. Be patient, stay humble. Don't tell anybody about your moves. Keep all of your
Mhm.
moves to yourself.
I
um
like that.
what else, also, since I'm in school, like, never give up on school, for music or anything.
Mhm.
Always have a backup plan, because you
Education is
know
important,
yeah, education is important, and the music industry is not always guaranteed. It's
and
not.
it's always gonna be here too. People don't think
Right,
about that. It's not going anywhere, right? It's not gonna be going tomorrow.
right.
So
And start young, especially, like, even with my niece, like, what I've noticed in her, like, um she was little, she was young, playing piano and singing and stuff like that. So, it's always good to start young. um I just I and never forget where you came from as well. Like, if you get a little bit of clout, okay, don't switch up.
mhm.
Stay true to your supporters. Don't be like all these other celebrities. Like, even if I get like say I get like big, I'm not gonna say big, or like, like, if I get like, okay, I'm gonna just say big because I don't have any other word. I don't want to use that, but
Yeah, I know
if
what you
I
mean
get,
though.
yeah, if I get, big and stuff like that, I would still stay in contact with, like, my supporters, like, even with
Facts.
you, or like people who have, like, helped me, like, shoot me a message, I'll reply. I love people like that, regardless of how many DMs they may get. But I'm
Yep.
just not with the whole, because celebrities, these rappers and singers, to me, are still human beings.
Mm.
So I want, people who are, you know, trying to become rappers, singers, entertainers in general to know as well. Never switch up on your friends, family, supporters, none of that. I think that's about it, other than keep practicing, because practice makes perfect.
I like that for sure. I feel like there's a lot of people that are talented, but they don't work as hard. You know what I mean? So they don't get as far. And
Right,
but they just have that natural talent, and it'll get them
right,
this far. But then that roadblock is there, and they just never practice. You know, they never
right,
put the work in, so they just stay stagnant. So that's very
right,
important.
right. For
Very
songwriters,
important.
especially, um, writer's block is real. I get writer's block all the time, but I don't give up, and take mental breaks as well. You
Mm.
know, it's good to take mental breaks, whether you're a producer, writer, rapper, singer, it doesn't matter. Take a break, and come back to it refreshed and rejuvenated, as I say.
For sure, definitely. That's important. And like you said, mental health is very important. So keeping your mental just fresh, keeping good ideas coming in. You know, what I mean, if you got too much stress, too much going on,
Right,
that can definitely, like, deter from your focus on what's important at that moment, which is the music and the
right,
lyrics. So
right.
definitely for sure. Have you either reached out to somebody specific? You don't have to give me any names or anything. I ain't gonna put nobody on blast. Have you ever reached out to somebody or been in contact with somebody and you thought they were one type of way and you were like, man, this person they're totally different than I thought they were, whether it's positive or negative.
Well, do you mean like music or just anybody?
Both. I mean, I would say music for sure if it was for music, but just in general, anybody that you just happen to know of that was a famous person that you happen to be in contact with, and you were like, that person is just totally different than I thought they would be. Whether it's again like negative, and it was like they weren't, it wasn't a great experience, or it was like, wow, this person was way more awesome than I thought they would be.
Well, yeah, like it goes back to the whole thing with like clout, you know.
Mm,
Clout is just like people fiend it for some reason. And
mm,
I know there was one, I believe that there was one, you know, he was cool at first. He was cool, like we were cool and stuff. But when he started getting that clout, we
yeah.
fell off. And
Mm,
there's a lot of people who have said that as well, like, you know, like, yeah, we used to be cool, and he fell off too, like not
yeah.
responding as fast, not, you know, like when people, songwriters, producers, they feel like placements are great. Like you get a placement with a major artist, you know, then they start coming in, you know, other, you know, super producers, artists, you know, famous
Mhm.
artists, they want to work with you and stuff. So that's basically what happened. You know, he basically got clout and he switched up. So
Damn.
yeah, it's cool though, you know, and I look at that type of stuff because, you know, people are counting on me. They're like, that's gonna be you, like, you know, like that's going, like people are gonna start coming to you, and you
Hmm.
know, and don't switch up.
Yeah,
So I was taught that by my mom, you know, just stay true to who you are, and I'm always gonna be like that. So never gonna switch up on somebody because it's been done to me, you know. It's lessons.
for sure. It is something like you said, something to learn from. It's a lesson. So it teaches you how not to be when you get in that position, but it also teaches you that people can switch up. Like you might be like, yeah, this person will never switch up on me. But then you
Right.
get that example of it and you're like, man, that shit can happen to me. So I just gotta be leery about who I give my energy and my focus to. And you know what I mean, and put in that space. Definitely.
Right. Right.
What do you feel has been the biggest lesson so far when dealing with the music industry? What would you say has been the biggest lesson for you so far?
Definitely not to rush things. Like,
Okay.
like I would be just like fiending like before I got to what I am today. Like, because I've been writing since I was 14, and me and one of my friends who's a producer, we were just talking about this not that long ago. You know, you have to wait, you have to be patient. Like, and I was telling him that as well. Like, I'm like, dude, like because me and him are in the same situation. Like, we're in the same predicament. You know, like we want to get placements, we want to work with these people, we want to do this, we want to do that, but nothing happens overnight. And I learned it the hard way,
For sure,
literally.
definitely.
And it low key, I felt unmotivated at one point, and I actually stopped making music. But
Really? Okay. Wow.
yeah, so I learned it the hard way. Um, but other than that, I can't think of anything else. You know, I've learned it's good to network. Um, it's really good to network. You know, even with producers, writers, it doesn't even have to be artists, like big artists and stuff like that.
Yep.
Network with the people who are behind the scenes. You know, the
Hmm.
engineers, the producers, the writers. You know,
Yep.
networking is extremely important, and that's what helped me as well today. That's who makes me up, like, you know, who
Hmm.
I am today as an artist. I've learned to network, and I still network.
I
So
like that. I like that. I like the fact that you say networking because that's a big thing for me, as well. I felt like I'm like I do want to continue to run a podcast and interview people, but I'm like I have to reach out to everybody, and I got to make
right,
sure that you just don't. It's like being in a room with an artist. You just can't shake the artist's hand and pass everybody else. You got to say
right,
hello to everybody and shake everybody's hand. You got to be respectful and just reach out to everybody and be courteous
right,
and cordial. So that's very big. I think that's something
right,
that we all need to keep in mind as we doing whatever we're doing. Just always
right,
continue to network. So
right.
that's for sure. Do you have a favorite artist that you work with so far? Do you think that you have like somebody?
Um, well, when it comes locally,
Mhm.
mm, I can say his name is Monroe Jordan.
Okay.
He is. I posted him a couple of times. Me and him went to school together. He's actually
Mhm.
supposed to be featured on my album. I'm gonna have him as a male vocalist because since I songwrite, I'm gonna have one song that shows my capabilities with that. And
Oh,
it's rare. I low-key got it from the idea from Ronnie J, because he's a producer and he had a whole bunch of artists on his on one of his albums. I think it's like OMG, oh my God, Ronnie, or something like that. I forgot.
okay.
But I got the idea from him. So I'm having him on the album as a male vocalist, and I'll be on the be writing, and it's the beat's going to be produced by Anthony D. Lux, the guy who produced Coolin', the song, my single.
Okay.
It's really nice.
Fire,
Um
fire.
he is great. Monroe Jordan, he's great. Shout out to him as well. Shout out to you, James.
For sure,
His
for
album
sure.
was great. His album, he just came out with an album. It was great. He's local.
Okay.
Majorly,
Mhm.
I can say, his name is Konal. I think that's how you pronounce it. I don't really say his name as much, but he's a producer. He just got his major placement not that long ago.
Okay.
He's 16 and he's a great producer. I've been writing for him off and on. He's great. My friend, one of my best friends, Vision, Eli. Shout out to him, man. Shout out to you, bud. That's my best friend. That's my best guy friend. No, that's my best friend. That's my.
That's
He's
awesome.
gotten placements with Wi-Fi's funeral. Vito the singer. He has unreleased music with Chris Brown, Party Next Door. Like, he's great. He's a shout out to him. So
Definitely.
he's one of the people I look up to as well. And I haven't really been able to like get on like, even with like Sir and stuff like that, because he's major. I haven't been able to like work, because I'm not going to pressure somebody. Like, I'm not going to be like, hey, like, I want to work with you. I want to work with you and stuff like that. Like, I haven't been able to get wet with him, like get in, like getting connections with him and stuff, but he does follow me. Other than that, nobody else like major, but when it comes to producers and stuff, those two people. And then locally, Monroe Jordan, he's great. So
That's awesome for sure. Shout out to them for sure, man.
yes, sir. They're great, man. I'm just trying to get placements, like major placements myself. Like, I've written for people locally, but I'm just now starting to get noticed for my writing,
Okay.
So
Like you
yeah.
said, you guys gotta be patient for sure. It'll come, definitely.
Right. I've been trying to get placements with Princeton Perez. You know who Princeton Perez is from Mindless Behavior?
Okay. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, mindless behavior. They used to be crazy back in the day. I remember
Yeah.
some of my friends used to be crazy about them. I ain't really pay attention though.
Yeah, I'm a little bit older, so I know of them, but I never, I'm saying I'm a little bit
Yeah.
older, but
Yeah. And then Justin Love, his my manager is affiliated with him. Like, my manager is affiliated with Ronnie J.
okay.
He's one of his best friends. He used to be his road manager and stuff like that. So he's my manager now. So I'm to the point where I need a manager. I got one,
Okay.
so the placements are about to start coming for me personally. So yeah.
That's dope for sure. I'm looking forward to hearing everything that comes about. For sure, it's gonna be incredible music. I'll be here to support for sure. So I'll
Thank
be on the
you.
lookout. No, of course, for sure, definitely. A quick question? Have you ever heard a song, whether it be on the radio, on an album, anywhere, and you listen to the lyrics and you're like, damn, I wish I wrote that. Like, I wish I thought of
Yes.
that to write that.
I do that with a lot of music. I'm just like, wow. Like, wow. Like, I wish, but like I said, that inspires me as well. Like, those lyricism is important to me. I talk about lyricism all the time, So even with my own music, I'm getting better at it, regardless of somebody, that already sounds great. I'm like, no, like usually I'm like, no, I wish I could have did something with that, something different. Like, even with Coolin', when I listen to that song, I'm just like, I could have did this differently. I could have did that differently, So I do it with my own music, but I'm most definitely deal with other people's music.
They'll keep you on your toes. That'll keep you sharp for sure. Keep you thinking of
Yeah.
new ideas and different ways you can, mix up different things. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's for sure. Especially when you're in that artist mindset, because it's different when you like in a consumer or like a fan's mindset. But when you always in that writing and thinking, which I'm sure you
Yeah.
are, it's
Yeah.
a
And
whole.
that's what I tell people, the audience is important. Like you're the artist, they're gonna hear it totally like different from us. Even with engineers and stuff, engineers hear everything. Like
Mhm.
with me studying music technology, I've learned so much. Like when I started the program, because I go to University of Toledo,
Okay.
So when I was taking recording classes and stuff like that, sound classes, electronic music classes, I was taught like about the panning and EQing and all that type of stuff. So when I listen to songs, even when people send me things sometimes, I'm like, yo, like that sounds like, that needs a little bit more reverb, or that needs to be spaced out a little bit. And, like I just give critiques and stuff. So yes, most definitely musicians, artists, doesn't matter. They're, when it comes to the fans and the audience and stuff like that, they're going to be different. I feel like the ears are totally different, and even with people that I send, because since I said that I have a small circle, like, yeah, I send like my friends, some of like my close friends and stuff, my music and stuff, like files and stuff over iMessage and stuff. I'd be like, listen to this, what this sound like. They'd be like, oh, this is hard. I'm like, I need more than that. I need like, like tell me like, like turn my vocals down or something like.
Yeah, for sure, definitely. Yeah, I mean, I used to
So
record a while back, and I got a friend of mine. I put out a project. Name is Daisy May. She put out a project, and she had sent me some stuff, and I was like, yeah, you should do things with this and do, because again, I used to record music, so I used to
right,
rap, and so I was like, this is what she, because again, she get the other thing where she was getting that same thing. It's like, oh, this is dope, this is cool, I like this, and it's like,
right,
nah, I'm
yeah,
looking for something a little more in depth, a
yeah,
little more detail. Should I double
yeah,
this? Should I keep this single? You know what I mean?
right,
Things like that.
right.
Sure.
Most
Yep.
definitely, yes. Even with my mom, I'm just like, ma, like she'd be like, this sounds good. Like, mama always gonna say everything
Yeah, she was
sounds
gonna support.
yeah. So I just be like, I'd be looking at her like, do you really like it? She'd be like, yeah. I'd be like, man,
You able to find out if she's telling the truth or not? Like, does she like do something particular where you like, I know she lying, she doing this, she raising that one eyebrow. I know she ain't telling the truth right
yeah,
now.
she does like something. I can't really she does something. I can't really explain it, but
Uh,
I can see it like sometimes, like even because my mom used to be a dancer. So
okay,
even with dancing and stuff, when I used to be drum major, because I was a drum major in high school, we did like HBCU style, so Jackson
nice.
State type thing. And when I would be out there, she'd be like, you need to get your legs up a little bit more. So, she specializes in that. And in music, I'm just like, you really like that, mom.
No, that's dope. Shout out to mom for sure. That's awesome. And mom always gonna support, like you say, they're always gonna support. That's good
Yeah,
though.
for sure.
So I know that you sent me a lot of music, and I know you've been writing a lot. Is there a top five as far as like songs that you've written so far that are in your top five of your favorite songs that you wrote?
Yes, for sure. I think I have this. Yeah, yeah. I have Passion. It's called Passion.
I heard
It's
that. Okay, I did
yeah,
listen to that.
it's low key. It's neo soul to me. Like,
Mm,
it reminds me of like a Erica Badu type of thing. I don't know. Like I love it so much. The background vocals to it,
mm,
what inspired me was the Isley Brothers. Like I listened to a lot of old school music. So when I did that
got you.
background, I'm just like, wow, this is my favorite song now. You know, I'm
Oh, that's
like, wow.
dope.
So that's number one. That's number one for me personally. Number two, when it comes to the writing demos that I sent you, I
Mhm.
know I sent you my writer's pack. Yeah, I sent you my writer's pack.
Yep.
When it comes to my writer's pack, I can say 3 years ago. That was produced by one of my friends. It's
Mm,
featuring me and this guy named Miles B. He's a wonderful singer. Shout out to him.
Yeah, that was a dope song as well.
Yeah,
I think that was one of
yeah,
the first
that's
ones you sent me. Yep, that was one
yeah,
of the
yeah,
first
that's
ones. Yep.
number yeah, that's number two. Um I like progression. I like my lyricism and progression, the one that I sent you, SoundCloud. I like
It
that.
sounded like it gave me more of a Kendrick. It gave me like a Kendrick kind of feel a little bit.
Yeah. It
Got
might
that?
shoot me in the daylight. Yeah, like that
Yeah, I
was
was like,
written. That
oh,
was in that was written in 2018, sometime
okay.
around there. So as you can see, like it's like a transition. Like I'm just, that's a part of it. Let's see. I could say I think Beg for It can be on there. I like the lyricism of that. It's just my vocals. I'm not a singer. And that's why I told my manager before, I'm like, I'm not a singer. He's like, no, that's okay. That's okay. Like, like when it comes to placements and stuff, as long as they know the ideas, they get the ideas and stuff, they're fine with it. You don't have to. And that's what I was looking into, getting a singer, an actual singer to do my demos. There's one girl here, her name is Janice, and she's a wonderful singer. Shout out to her as well. We got to get together. And then I think, was that 4 already?
That's 4. Yeah, that's 4.
Yeah, that's 4. I think Lavish. That song was inspired by one of my close friends, Sylvia. Shout out to her. Her name is Lavish on Instagram. I'm just like, because it just low-key gives me like Lavish vibes. Like, I don't know.
Lit.
I like the melody on that. Lyricism as well. So I think that's a part of my top 5. I forgot about Coolin'. You know what? No. Let me I have so much music. I'm just like,
definitely. Yeah, for sure. You
like
sent me that. I was like, wow, that's a lot of music.
Yeah, it is a lot of music. I sent you the whole pack. Yep. I think Coolin's gonna have to Coolin can replace Beg for It. Most definitely. Yeah. So there you go. There's
I like it. That's a dope top 5 for sure.
Yeah.
Is there any specific artists that you are targeting to work with in the future?
Yeah, most definitely. TDE,
Okay.
Whether it's
and the whole
I know they write they're like they write their own stuff, and when it comes to being an artist, people ask me that all the time, like who do you see yourself signed to, or like who do you want? Like I'll always say TDE because they're just great. They're great. Kanye, I love Kanye. Kanye's a part of my top 3. He's major. I would love to work with Kanye. Production wise. I think he low-key slipping away from the lyricism just a little bit. I'm just like, what is this? But I love his production. I love the old Kanye. I'm an old Kanye.
You're not feeling Poopity Scoop? You're not feeling that?
Man, I'm just like, that beat hard though, man.
It is fire though, right? And I'm like, why would you put this bullshit on this fire ass beat? I think he just did that just to get people mad. Like, I'm just gonna shit on this beat and just give it away as like a toss away beat.
Even with his what was that album? The religious album. What's that album called?
I know you're talking. I don't know the name of it though. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, that's the thing. I know. I'm Kanye top 3. Like it's crazy. I just when it got after The Life of Pablo, everything else is just like, but my favorite Kanye album is Yeezus.
That's your favorite?
Yeah.
I had heard somebody else say that too. I had heard that on somewhere else I was listening to. They were saying that Yeezus is like one of their favorite albums. I mean, I like Yeezus. I thought it was a good album. They had compared it to a different album. That's a whole different discussion because they said Yeezus and J. Cole's Born Sinner came out on the same day, and somebody else said that Born Sinner was better, and this person said that Yeezus is better. I'm going with Born Sinner. That's one of my favorite albums. So I'm going with J.
Yeah.
Cole Born Sin on that one if I had to choose one of the two. But Jesus is that was a good album though. I feel like it was sonically way different. It was almost like an opera kind of sound. Like that could be on Broadway. I feel
Oh
like that was the
yeah.
concept behind it, right? That was kind of what they concept they
Yeah,
kind of went
yeah,
on
for
that.
sure, for sure. I love Yeezus, but Kanye, I love Dark Child. You know who
Oh,
Dark
for
Child
sure. Yeah, of
is?
course. One of the biggest producers of all time.
Yep,
Pretty
Teddy
much.
Riley.
Yeah.
I want to work with so many people.
Okay.
There's so many people, especially Nija when it comes to songwriting. I would love
Mm,
to work with her, man. Any
okay.
artist that I'm inspired by, every artist that I'm inspired by, would love
Okay.
to work with them. I know Michael and Prince and Whitney Houston, they're gone, but
Yeah, for sure.
but you have to be on that level to work. You would have had to been on that level to work with them, So that would have took a long time. Pharrell,
Definitely. Yep.
just great people, great people.
I'm not mad at that at all. I remember Nas said that he wanted to do a song with Prince and they was working on it. And Prince asked him, "Do you own your masters?" And he was like, "Nope." And then Prince was like, "I can't even rock with you, man. You don't even own your masters. I can't do it."
Oh man, I
Yeah.
ain't never heard that story.
Oh yeah. Look that up. Yeah. Nas talked about that, man. I think he was on Drink Champs. He was on Drink Champs and he was talking about that and he was trying to set up who doesn't want to do a song with Prince? And he reached
Yeah,
out to him and
man.
he was like, "Do you own your masters?" He was like, "Nah." He's like, I can't do it, man."
Yeah, people get into the discussion with me and um the whole Prince versus MJ thing, and I'm just like, you
Okay.
really can't compare them. Like, you really they're amazing.
Yep.
I feel like they're different genres as well. Like Prince, like focused more. Like I know he was like a little bit pop and rock and stuff like that. He was
Mhm.
all around. Plus, he played like almost every instrument.
Instrument for
But
sure. Yep.
Michael, when it comes to dancing, entertaining, just entertaining in general.
Yep.
The king of pop. So,
The king
but
of pop for a reason. But yeah, they are two different. They like on two different. They like on their own planet for real. Like it is kind of unfair to judge. I think they're both incredible. My favorite R&B artist might be Marvin Gaye though. I might be my
Oh
favorite.
yes, sir.
Marvin Gaye, like sonically, as far as his message and writing his music, Marvin Gaye wrote all his own music as well.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, that's big for me. You know what I mean? I look for that, like as far as like, are you is what you're putting to the pen and the emotion that you get now actually your emotion or is it somebody else's? I'm not mad if it's somebody else's. I just think it's more special if it's yours.
Right. Yeah. Of course. Of
So
course.
that's yeah, I definitely understand that for sure. Give us a little bit of key in. So I know that we got the album coming out. We got the name for the album.
Unsolicited.
Unsolicited. I like it. Okay.
It's like I don't really ask for a whole lot. I it's just you'll hear it in the music, like the way that I talk, um, the way that I rap in
Mhm.
the songs. You'll hear it. You'll hear why I got the name, like how I came up with the name. The tracks
Mhm.
it'll say for its, it'll speak for itself.
Okay.
Um, Talk to one of my friends that actually helped me come up with the name because at first it was gonna be like In Solitude or something like that,
Mhm.
but I was just like, you know what, nah, let me go with this because this represents me more.
Unsolicited.
Yeah,
It's almost like unconstrained, I guess. Almost like
yeah,
something like okay, not
yeah.
to be held back.
I just wanted it to be like something that could just you could just it's all the songs are gonna be based upon me, like in
Hmm.
situations I've gone through, but I also write so people can relate. That's a songwriter's job. I feel like is write for yourself, but write what other people can relate to as well. That's why people like even with hit different, like that song, people can relate to most of the lyrics on that song.
For
So
sure.
that's what I want in my album. So
Mhm.
unsolicited.
Unsolicited for sure. Do you have any features on there? Anybody featuring on there like with you on there?
Yes, I have their local Monroe Jordan,
Hmm.
local, all of them are local. I feel
Okay.
like I'm local. I don't
Yep.
consider myself like I said, big.
Mhm.
I don't consider myself anything but local. I'm still local. I don't charge for features. I don't even charge for writing. Like
Mhm.
I network. Like I would rather have a credit than, you know, charge, as you can say, for some.
Okay.
Like when it comes to major artists, yes, I will charge. I
Let
will
that be
charge.
known, right?
Yeah,
So if you're looking for it, let her know. I will
I
be
will.
charging you a little bit. You know what I
I
mean?
will charge. So we got Rico.
Mhm.
Shout out to you. Lamar B. Shout out to you. They're both, if you listen to Boom Bap, the whole Isaiah Rashad, Kendrick, TDE,
Okay.
that type of vibe. They give me. They're really good. They're going to be featured. They're also my friends as well.
Awesome.
Monroe Jordan. He's a like I said, he's great. And then Vision, the producer, one of my producer friends. So like I feel like that's networking, and there's also working with people I care about, like these are my bros. I don't have, it's not that I don't have the connections to place anybody on me, like on my album and stuff like that, because I do have the connections. Yes, I have the connections, but for my first album, I'm not trying to go like too out. Like I want to give these people opportunities to be noticed by people who notice me. You get what I'm saying? So it's like a win-win. Like, like I want these people to eat with me, as you can say, everybody around me, all my friends gonna eat. If I'm eating, y'all eating too. Like, you get what I'm saying?
Sure, definitely. Listen, keep the
So
circle small and make sure y'all all profit together and prosper together.
those are the features. And I told my engineer, I'm like, it's going to be 6 or 7 songs. I've cut like 2 songs already. I'm just like, no, we're not doing that. No.
Nah,
And like,
okay.
I'm a perfectionist, as I can say. 6 to 7 songs. And I just can't wait. I can't wait for everybody to hear it. It's definitely something that you can play in your car, when it comes to production. Great production. It's going to be mixed and mastered by my engineer. It's going to be great. I just can't wait.
I'm excited to hear it for sure. Do you feel like it's going to have Ohio sound?
Nah.
Because it's local, you know what I mean? Because the artists are all from
yeah,
more local.
I mean, there's so many artists here.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can't really like just like give it a sound, like like I don't know, because we really don't. I feel like we don't have a sound. Like I don't feel like we have a sound. Like I know some people, in my opinion, some people be into that, like the like NBA YoungBoy type of rap, like that type of rap. I'm just like, it's not like that.
Kid Cudi from Ohio, right? Isn't Kid Cudi from Ohio?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I know John Legend is.
John Legend, yeah, he's another one. Yeah, for sure. I thought Kid Cudi was as well.
I'm not sure. He probably was. I like Kid Cudi, but I don't really pay attention.
I'm about to say, could he be the Ohio sound? I know he kind of like birthed the sound that kind of brought along like 808s and heartbreaks like Kanye West. I feel
yeah. I know. I think MGK is from Ohio too.
Okay.
I think, and then there's one. His name is like Doobie or something like that. I don't. Like I said, like I don't know. With me, I feel like my sound is going to be like unexpected. It's going to be unexpected, coming from me. Like, people always tell me like, you need to move, like don't stay here, don't stay in Columbus, move, like move to LA, move, to New York, somewhere that artists like, are discovered, noticed.
Okay.
So, but I'm, like I said, Columbus is home. Oh, even if I do move, I'm never going to forget where I came from, so I think it's gonna be whatever sound that you guys get out of it. You guys can tell me.
For sure, yeah. Leave it in the comments for sure.
Yeah.
Share it on IG. Give me your Instagram as well. Give me Instagram. That way we can hit you up and leave you the comments for sure and let you know. Listen, this is the kind of sound I get from it. This is how I feel about the album for sure.
Right, for sure. 2 a.m. at 2 a.m.
For sure. 2 a.m. I definitely appreciate you for joining us as my guest as well. I thank you guys for all spending this time with us this long. For sure. Feel free to reach out to us. It's going to be on all platforms. We're going to have it on YouTube. It's going to be on Facebook as well. It's going to be, of course, on IGTV. We're going to make sure to put this on all platforms. So 2 a.m. I definitely appreciate you for joining us.
Thank
Thank you
you.
guys for the guest for sure. I'm going to pause this one for us. All right.
All right.
All right.